Yo guys, Foxy, hope everyone's doing good tonight. Today we're back for a new video, Learn from a Pro. Today it's kind of a special video because we're gonna be talking about 1LUSHA and especially about no build tournaments. Before the video starting, let me introduce 1LUSHA. Okay, here's a little disclaimer. In this video, I'm only going to talk about 1LUSHA's performances and gameplay in No Build Cup. I know he's a really impressive player in classic cups as well, but that's not the subject of the video. So if you want to learn more about him out of the zero build, his socials will be in the description down below. So, 1LUSHA is a professional player from Russia, currently free agent. Previously playing for Telos Saints, Aloft, TCE and Fast Forward, 1LUSHA is the 46th best player in Europe in official competition and is probably the best zero build players in Europe at the moment. Since the beginning of the zero build cups in Europe, 1LUSHA has an average placement of 24th in this mode. What's more, in September and October combined, 1LUSHA has an average placement of 7th in zero build tournaments, with a second place during the 3 last zero builds Cash Cups. Now, let's watch his gameplay. And if you're ready, let's go. Before we go in replays, let me give you, I got some conversation with 1LUSHA about zero build if he has some advice for you to perform as well in zero build. Let me talk about it. So, he spoke, he gave me the stuff and the layout you should carry. He told me bunkers, bubbles, shockwaves, a shotgun are the best, and someone else, of course. In terms of heal, takes only chucks and kegs. About the rotates, he or they are leading to grottos, and he also gave me the fact that minis and bigs are not interesting because you probably won't have the time to pop them in the most of scenarios. In terms of endgame rotates, it's too like the situation is too important, and you don't really have strats, but you need to avoid middle of the map. I'm probably gonna put a picture on the screen. You need to go for the blue area. That's the best one. But out of that, that's cool to have some messages, some advices. But I think, and that's probably the reason why you're still there, the most interesting is to go in replays. So let's go. Okay, so we're gonna be talking today and we're gonna be watching at their second place in the zero build cash cup with Nefrezi, Splash and Sined. 1LUSHA also played a cup, the last one with Malibuka, Mustache and Nefrezi, but I've watched through some replays and that's not as interesting as it should or as it could. So this squad with Nefrezi, Splash and Sined is probably a bit more interesting. So let me watch and let me have a look to this. So we're probably gonna watch this second place, 21 minutes alive. That's a really slight game for no build. Let's go. Okay, so now we are on this good game. All the beginning of the game is not really interesting, so I skipped it. I started at 14:36. They got out of the zone, they got some kills at Grotto. During a long time they stayed at Grotto without doing anything special. So I skipped. Instant when they got out the zone, they instant popped the bubble. And the bubble is really useful, so no one can shoot on the bubble. Like it stops everyone's damage. But it's really interesting for one main thing. And that's what CNET is doing there. They're just shooting. And then if they need to cover, they go in the bubble for a spot to reload, then they get out. Now they're going for their rotate. About the stuff, as I told you previously, that's kind of the same. Pump, AR, splashes, as it told me, bubbles and bunker. That's kind of the same there. Chugs, shockwaves, and I don't know, the liquid launcher, I guess. They're chugs, AR, pump, bubbles, bunkers. And exactly the same stuff there. So you see no minis, no big, and nothing like this. Pads are not really interesting as well. They're going up for the balloon, and then for all the rotates we can go through there because we know there is no one on the towers. so you can allow them to rotate all like this. The only problem is that it's like when you're gliding, that's the same problem as in build. If you're gliding during too much time, you can easily be lasered. But with just fast landing, and there you can see the difference in the rotates by visit bunkers, and everyone who's gliding you can't really cover, and there is no part of the game where you fall building, as there is sometimes in build mode. There's parts where you're not shooting because you're only rotating. This part is a bit smaller, I would say, because there is no part where you build, because you don't build, so you have more time to shoot. So of course, the glide time is a bit more grieving. This liquid launcher is actually really good to break the little builds there is, so mainly bunkers. They're just gonna wait and use absolutely those heights. You see, it has a minimum, like all the positions are really more worked, I would say, because it's way more important. In that kind of situation, they know there's a team there, there's another team who will, that's another team who are there, there's two other teams, my bad, that's just one team who's above there. So all the rotates they need to do, they're gonna do it with the bubble, as I wanted to do. 1LUSHA is going for the stuff, of course, there's one knock there. They got the information about someone on the tower through the window, so he can go on. Bunkers are gonna be really important and really interesting. And we're gonna get two main positions. That's gonna be the mountains, as we did for the fight there with the bubble there, and the builds which are already placed on the map, has the towers, has the houses, etc. Then that's gonna be classic, I would say. That's just gonna be everyone is good positioned. 1LUSHA is on the build. CNED is a bit too exposed actually, but if we're really watching to this, they can't, and almost everyone, like almost no one can really see CNET and shoot at him. So even if it's really open in that area, like he's chilling, Splash is fully covered with the bunker. nefrizy is big covered thanks to the leaves and this tower, and is mainly a bit retired on the back. Taking the information about the guys on the back there. He's going to join back his mates thanks to all the bubbles, and that's exactly the same for all the rotates. They're gonna use the bubbles, they're gonna spam the bunkers as much as they can. The bunkers are not like unbreakable, they're just hard to break. The liquid launchers can do a lot of work there. The nefrizy still got his, and after in terms of stuff like they're a bit scuffed to be honest, like they don't have yells anymore. They didn't get a lot, but they don't have heal anymore, so they need to chrome and to get out. Even if they got the zone, like they're just too scuffed to do something well. So they're gonna go, as I told you, in the position which are good. So in the houses or in the towers, that's what they're gonna do. Then they see someone tries to break it, so they're gonna break it. Act like the problem is like, to shoot you need absolutely to be fully open, and then they see everyone there are shit position, and as they need a lot of stuff, that's what they're gonna do. Because of the shit shockwave, they're gonna kind of like fuck up their position, so 1LUSHA can still try to go in there. That's still the kind of movements they didn't hesitate to leave the zone 50-50, something that you can't do at all in build mode, but there they can allow them. Once again, the liquid launcher was so good. There he's not positioned well at all. This kid, C or Ni, didn't even try to place well to cover or to get out. Even if there are 4 people coming on him, he didn't actually move or didn't change anything on his stuff. Everyone liquid launcher there, but thanks to the bubble, they don't take any kind of damage. And then that's the final 4v4 with CNED alone with zero builds. is gonna die. Um, the bubbles are unbreakable, you see, so that's basically impossible to do anything because during their refresh they didn't get a lot of ELs. They got almost nothing, and because of the zone, like they needs to go forward, and that would be exactly the same results if the zone were there. If the zone would put on Sanctum, that would be the same but a win for the Russian squad, but has the squad there, it's a French squad, has the zone is there, so they have the zone. Other opponents needs to go forward and we just need to hold them. Well, this video is hitting the end. I apologize for this video, which might not be as interesting as other videos. I'm not a no-build specialist, but I wanted to let you discover pros playing in no build. And if you want, I'll make a video with more details about this game mode. And we say that, I wish you a good day and see you next week.